How's it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing wonderful. Hope your year is off to a great start. In this video, I'm going to provide an update on where I am with this investing portfolio and share with you guys all of the dividends that I earned in the past month. And if you're new here, this is what I like to do every single month, give you complete transparency into my investment portfolio, show you what it's like to actually invest, the type of returns that you can expect. And ultimately, my goal is to build a nice stream of passive income and inspire others along the way to do the exact same thing. So right now, the portfolio is valued at about $41,373. That puts us at a market gain of around $13,500. So that's going to be capital gain appreciation as well as any dividends earned. And then from a rate of return, that's going to be roughly 96%. Now zooming into the past month, and we had a lot going on. President Trump was sworn in, a lot of tariffs happening, and the market certainly reacted. But overall on the month, we're sitting at a market gain of about $840 or a money weighted rate of return of about 2.5%. To start out the month, it wasn't that great. Took a little bit of a downturn, but then the market recovered. This is right around the time Trump got sworn into office. And for a few days, the market stayed pretty stagnant. And then we had the tariff information, so that took the market down just a tad bit, but then it recovered pretty nicely the next following days. So overall, the past month was actually pretty good. Looking into some of these pies here that I have configured in this M1 Finance portfolio, we can see that everything was pretty much in the green. The only downside is in the technology sector. That took a pretty big hit this month, down over 4%. So clicking into there just to see some of the holdings that I have. The most notable ones are Apple down 6% and Tesla down over 8% on the month. I don't hold very much Tesla, so it didn't make a huge impact, but nonetheless, technology didn't perform that great. A lot of other areas didn't have too high of gains. ETFs were up about 2.5%, so that's kind of the baseline, what I consider the average. Real estate, pretty much in the same boat. It does look like healthcare had a pretty good month, up over 8%. Eli Lilly pretty much leading the charge here. Double-digit increases, 13% there. Then most other stuff in that 4 to 7% range. So yeah, pretty good month for healthcare. But as I always say, it's nice to look at the past month, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because I'm in it for the long term. So I'm not going to let one short period of time influence how I want to invest. I'm just going to stick to my guns and keep doing what I'm doing. All right, so let's hop into the dividends and see what we actually got paid out this month. And it was actually a pretty small month as far as dividends. Most of the companies that I have, they pay dividends out in the last month of the quarter, and then the first month of every quarter, it's generally a little bit lower. But we started out with $8.05 from Genuine Parts Company. Then Nike paid $1.04. Following that, we had a pretty nice dividend payment from Vici Properties, $10.54. And if you're unfamiliar with Vici, this is a real estate company. They own a lot of properties on the Las Vegas Strip. Many of those big casinos that you may be familiar with, like Caesar's Palace, for example, Vici actually owns the building, and then Caesar's company pays rent to Vici. So a company with a pretty unique set of properties. That's kind of what piqued my interest because some of the other real estate companies that I have invest in pretty standard commercial and industrial real estate. And then next we have an energy company, DTE Energy. They paid $3.11. Then Realty Income Corp, pretty famous company. They pay out monthly. This month they paid $6.28. Another monthly paying real estate company, this is Stag Industrial. They paid out $2.67. And we have yet another monthly paying company, but this is actually an ETF. This is from Invesco. The ticker is SPHD, and they paid $6.92. And when I first started this portfolio, I loved this company. I love the fact that they were monthly paying. So I invested in this ETF more so than other ETFs like VTI, for example. But over the past few years, I really started to switch that up Even knowing SPHD paid a higher dividend, the capital gain returns weren't nearly as good as an ETF like VTI. And when you focus on returns, it's not just your dividends. You really have to factor in that capital gain appreciation. Then next, we got Cisco Corporation, the food distribution company. $4.40 is what they paid out. And then to cap the month of January off, one of the largest banks in the United States, JP Morgan, they paid $6.94. So when we add everything up for the month, the total income in dividend payments is going to come to $49.95. So compared to last year, we took a little bit of a hit, almost down $20. But it's always misleading at the beginning of the year because a lot of companies do pay out in December. And I think in 2024, we had a couple companies that paid a special dividend out anyways. But overall, about $50 in a single month of passive income from doing absolutely nothing except investing. I will absolutely take that. And one thing I do want to show you guys here is this dividend income broken out in terms of different time frames. So I have it broken out yearly, monthly, weekly, daily, and hourly. And essentially what I do is I just take the last 3 months of dividend payments and then break it down by these time frames just so I can kind of see how much passive income I'm making in these different scenarios. And honestly, it's pretty motivating to see. Although it may not seem like a lot, it's just cool to see this grow every single month with a compounding effect. And it also helps me put a lot of stuff into perspective. Like if I get the urge to buy something that I don't really need and say, look, if I buy that soda, that candy bar, and it's costing me $2 or $3, I don't think of it like $2 or $3. I consider the future value of that money and think, no, that's actually costing me $41,000 of future value. Maybe that's just me being crazy, but I do like to think of stuff like that as it does sort of keep me grounded in a way. But that's pretty much going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much for taking the time to check out this video. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your day to watch this. So thanks for watching, and until next time, take it easy.